We are live. This week's best MMA bets, a series I tend to love doing. It is UFC, Bellator, and PFL betting breakdown. I'm going to talk about parlays across all of it. We're going to first start off with some locks of the night. Put the air quotes out there, locks of the night. We'll be talking about some potential locks, dogs of the night, some parlays I think that have some value. Shout out to everybody watching live. Shout out to you guys in the live chat, Mystic Sosa and Hype MMA. Thank you guys for tuning in. Smash that like button, guys. Goal on this video, I need 70 likes on this thing at least. Thank you guys so much. If you're new to the channel, subscribe too. We cover all things MMA. This was just the week to do it. We have so many events going on. I said, you know what? This is the time to do this week's best MMA bets. We have a lot of opportunities to make some crossover parlays, some money to be made. This is the third live stream of the day. It's been a lot of fun. You guys know me. I love chatting it up with you guys, giving you the best content possible. So I really do appreciate you guys so much. We'll talk about some of the locks of the night first, and it's going to be across all of the organizations. We have Bellator 261, UFC Vegas 30, and PFL number 6 for 2021. Definitely some financial opportunities for sure here. We'll first start it up at the top because Bellator is the first one there. So we'll talk about the locks of the night from Bellator. I have them written down here because there's a ton of them, right? So we're going through 3 leagues, the top MMA leagues in the world, essentially, with Bellator, UFC, and PFL. UFC obviously being number 1. For Bellator, my locks of the night, Valentin Moldavsky, Hokit, and Bates. So what we're going to do as we go through these locks of the night, we're also going to find out what the value of a parlay would be if we played all of them. Let's first put Moldavsky down on there, and then we have Isaiah Hokit. Moldavsky, great fight against Johnson. He is a little bit of an undersized heavyweight, but fast, physically strong, high-level experience in his training. He has very good team around him. He's going to beat Tim Johnson. I think he gets a TKO around the 3rd. Isaiah Hotkick is going to destroy Corey Samuels. Yes, Samuels is 2-2 as a pro MMA fighter, but he was like 1-9 as an amateur. Something to note, Hotkick's an animal of a wrestler. He's going to win the fight, and he personally told me he's going to get the finish after talking to him. Next fight, Bates, Jaylon Bates. I think he dominates Cody Matthews. So those 3, Valentin Moldavsky, Isaiah Hokit, and Jaylon Bates, I think those are the 3 locks of the night from Bellator. If I had to stretch it a bit, I'd also add Christian Edwards, but we're going to wait on that because we will do a big wild man parlay towards the end. Well, let's keep on moving to PFL. What are the PFL locks of the night? As crazy as PFL is, I still think there's some locks on this card. We're going to do Movlid Kubelaev. I think excellent matchup versus Lance Palmer. Denis Goltsov, I think another lock of the night. Good stylistic matchup against Brandon Sales. And then the next one, it's got to be Kayla Harrison, but there's no value in the bet, so we're just going to leave her out of the parlay for now. And also, I do feel like Henin Fajeda is another good play. Good stylistic matchup against Carl Seyumanatafa. This is already plus 542. I don't even know if your lines will allow it. It really is going to depend where you're betting. I believe betonline.ag will allow it. BetMGM, I think, does as well. But I know some of the other betting sites are a little more strict on the cross plays. But now let's keep it moving, though. We're in the UFC now. I like Andre Fili, Raoni Barcelos, Shavkat Rakhmonov. And I have to throw one women's MMA fight. Julia Avila. If you were to play this wild-ass parlay, but these are the locks for all 3 organizations, it's plus 2,164 money. Julia Avila, Shavkat Rakhmonov, Raoni Barcelos, Andre Fili, Henin Fajeda, Denis Goltsov, Movlid Kubelaev, Jaylon Bates, Isaiah Hokit, and Valentin Moldavsky. This one right here, take a picture of it, write it down. If you're looking to play a crazy parlay and your bookie allows it, this is the one. This is the crazy-ass parlay with all locks, in my opinion. And I think it's going to hit. I do think it's going to come through. I think this could be some huge money if we do pull this off. I will play it myself if possible. I'm going to try it on betonline.ag tonight. I believe they will let me. So this right here would be a money crossover play if you guys are looking for like a cross play across all the promotions. Definitely scary, right? Because that's a lot of fights that have to cash here. But I'm confident, guys. I really have high confidence in this play right here. So smash that like button for this lock of the night parlay across 3 MMA organizations. Smash the hell out of it. As I said, 70 likes is needed on this video. It's a series that I bring as much as possible. You guys know I love the best bets video and always bring those out when I can. This is this week's best MMA bets across all the organizations. Those are the locks of the night. And we are going to restart all the way at the top. And it's time to talk about the dogs of the night, because there's definitely some good dogs of the night too. It's not just about the locks. Some dogs that you want to play. Maybe you're looking to cash big. Honestly, I like the lock plays that I wrote down. So if you guys are interested, play those up. But dogs of the night, we're going to first start it off here in Bellator with the dogs that I have chosen. I'm not going to like parlay up all the dogs truly, but I'm just curious to see what they'll be sitting at. And we'll just have them saved by clicking on them. But not saying to play this crazy ass dog only parlay. But the dogs of the night for Bellator, I have Bobby Lee. Shout out to him for commenting on the full card predictions. He knows what's up. He's following MMA experts, so shout out Bobby Lee. Also, I really do like Miles the Fury Jury. So these two, Miles Jury's a plus 120. Lee is a plus 240. Two dogs that I really do like. Let's keep it moving over to PFL as we leave. And also, Daniel Weichel, I know a lot of people are high on him. Even though I'm picking Keone Diggs to win, it's a very competitive matchup. Weichel, a proven dog and a very tough out. But it's still not putting him on the dogs tonight for me because I picked against him. But I am saying there is some value there, and he does have potential to win that fight. But let's keep on moving here. The dogs in PFL that I have chosen are a lot more limited, and I would not suggest really throwing substantial money at this dog, but I am picking Mariana Moraes to win the fight against Caitlin Young by a split decision. Would I bet a split decision? Absolutely not. So if you are looking to play a dog parlay, maybe leave out Mariana. But I'm picking her to win this fight, and I'm riding with the dog here. It's already at plus 2,000. This is insane. The dogs in the UFC, you guys know I have a few of them here. I am on Jay Herbert. I like him a lot in this matchup. I'm also on Nicholas Dalby at plus 115. And another dog that I am liking here is Yancy Medeiros. If this were to hit, it is plus 31,381. How insane would that be if all these dogs were able to come through at this insane tag? If you guys want to throw like $1 at it, you could just for fun. I mean, shoot, that is a serious amount. I don't even know if your bookie will allow that because they're going to be like, no way. If this hits, they're going to go broke. They're going to be paying you an arm and a leg for that one. So that's pretty wild. Those are the dog plays of the night that I personally do like. There's other dogs that I didn't list that still have some value potentially, but I like the plays here. I also want to keep on moving up. Smash that like button for the dogs as well. There's more to talk about, though, and I will answer up that live chat. Miles Jury, Sidney Outlaw over 2.5, and Carmouche over 2.5. I like both those plays. I'll check the value of it right now since we're here. Over 2.5 for Carmouche is around minus 295 at the best, minus 360 at the worst value. Not loving that bet, but I do think that fight does go the distance. Maybe just bet fight goes the distance there. Also, if Miles Jury versus Sidney Outlaw, I do see decision in that fight. Over 2.5 is minus 250 on that one there. So decent plays. Maybe you parlay those up together. Let's see what value you could get if you were to play those together. The over 2.5 there and the over 2.5 there. You're sitting at minus 115. Pretty good money. And I do think both those fights do go the distance. So you might want to just play the fight goes the distance play if that's available at your bookie. But let's keep it moving. We got more to talk about. Got some things written down because there's a lot. So some value bets that I think have some worth to just play straight. I feel like if we're talking about PFL, I'm going to first talk there because, I mean, if I had to pick, I'm going to pick one from every organization. If I'm talking about like value bets to play straight. So obviously we already talked about the dog Miles Jury. I like him as a value bet straight. I also do like Christian Edwards as a value bet straight at minus 190. I think that's a decent tag. He's going to beat Simone Biong. But let's keep moving down and let's go to PFL because I do think there's a really good value bet. And that's got to be Movlid Kubalayev. Stylistically, very good matchup against Lance Palmer. Both wrestlers. When it's a Dagestani versus American wrestler, it tends to go the way of the Dagestani. Dagestani. That's exactly what's going to happen here. I have Movlid winning this fight, and I think he does put on a good performance. Another decent value bet is Renan Ferreira at minus 225. Even though that is wide, that's decent value because stylistically it is a very favorable matchup for him. Let's keep moving down, though. We're going to get to the value bet for the UFC as well. UFC value bet, in my opinion, would be Tanner Bozier. If you can get him at minus 185, that's not bad. Minus 170 is good as well. If you can get him in the 100s, at the top end of the 100s, I actually do like the money. I think that's a very valuable bet, and I think he's going to come through and deliver a pretty good performance. And also another dog, actually, that we didn't put on the dogs of the night. That was just a mistake, essentially. We were supposed to put him there. I didn't write him down for whatever reason. Maybe that's a sign, but Danilo Marquez. But he's in such a 50-50 fight with Kennedy Nzechukwu, and I feel like Kennedy definitely striking-wise has the advantage, but I think Marquez submission there. So might be some value in some things we'll be talking about as far as prop bets do go, because I do want to talk about some prop bets to play as well. After going through all these straight plays, there's time to talk about the props. Some props that I think have value over in Bellator, especially this one. Hokit inside the distance. Throw the cash at it. Plus 145, plus 140. I think he gets the stoppage win over Corey Samuels. He really should. I think it's going to be a ground and pound TKO in the first or second round, potentially even a submission victory. So at plus 140 money or more, I mean, that's really good value. I like the Isaiah Hokit bet. Also, another value prop in Bellator that I do like is Miles the Fury Jury to win the fight by a decision. If you can find it in the plus 200 range, it's sitting around plus 240 at some sites. That's pretty good value too. Miles Jury by a decision at plus 240. And then also at the top, Valentin Moldavsky, I think by a TKO. I think there's value in him winning the fight late, though. I do think it's like third or fourth round. Moldavsky TKO is plus 300. Those are some value bets as far as props go for Bellator. As far as for PFL, obviously, you'll be running some risk with PFL, right? Some interesting matchups. I do want to double check what this price tag is at, because Capoloza to win, I don't like betting minus money for prop bets. Capoloza to win by KO is minus 150. I just don't find that valuable. If it was plus 115, I'd be way more interested in it. Taylor Guardado, Laura Sanchez. Like, skip these women's fights that are like really high risk. If you want to bet on any woman, it would be Pacheco or Fabian, because I don't see much value in the other females in fights that really can go either way, to be 100% honest. I mean, obviously not the Cindy Dandois fight with Kayla Harrison. That's a TKO or submission for Kayla Harrison. It's an inside the distance, but the inside the distance is like minus 600. It's really not worth it at that point. Movlid Kubalayev to win the fight by a decision. It's not the same value as some of the others, but still around plus 150 to plus 162. I think it's a decent bet if that's a bet you're looking to play. So there's definitely some options, right? Definitely some prop options throughout all the organizations. I wanted Klidson by a submission at plus 200, but it's sitting at plus 165. I don't like it nearly as much at that price tag, even though I do think he should win by a submission. Not feeling the risk. Personally, not betting that. But if it was plus 300, absolutely would be on top of it. But let's get to some UFC prop bets that I think have some value. I do think Rayani Barcelos is going to win the fight. I do think he's probably going to win the fight by a decision. If you can find plus 145 decision for Barcelos, I think that's valuable. Against Timur Valiev, Valiev is a guy that can go the distance. He's a durable fighter. He's a difficult fighter to deal with. High-level striking game, high-level grappling game, but Rayani Barcelos just does it all better than he does. So that's definitely something to note right there. Let's keep it moving, though, because I do think there's some more valuable props here. Tanner Bozier, as I said, he's already a value bet. Let's see. Shavkat Rakhmonov inside the distance versus Michael Prazeres, I do think is possible here. I think it could be a TKO win for him. Shavkat looks good, but it's not even that good a value at plus 120. If the value is not there, I don't like to bet. Danilo Marquez to win the fight by a submission against Kennedy Nzechukwu at plus 300 or more has extreme value. Even plus 250 or more. Marquez wins by a submission, plus 315. I think that's valuable at plus 315 for sure. I think that's the one that I like the idea of playing. As far as like Tim Means, Nicholas Dalby, fight goes the distance is what I'm expecting there. But the bet, minus 170, it's not terrible, but it's really not all that great. But I do think that's one of those like highly likely plays that you could do at minus 170. A Tim Means, Nicholas Dalby fight goes the distance. Overall, some interesting spots throughout all of the cards. I think the best thing to do is parlay up some of these locks and play a couple of the props, but don't go too crazy because props really can go any which way. Props can go all over the place. So for me, I'm feeling some parlays mixing across all of the organizations. Overall, some great action, though, with all the leagues, Bellator, PFL, and the UFC. I'm super pumped. Honestly, I'm super pumped for this weekend. We got a lot of money to be made, but we also got a lot of enjoyment that's going to be coming out of these cards because I think we're going to have a lot of fun. We broke down the fights all week long. We do have already some of the weigh-ins done, I guess, for two of the leagues, right? We have PFL and Bellator weigh-ins. We did like a live weigh-in recap, so make sure you guys check out the weigh-in show. I have timestamps in there. You guys know how I do it. I put those timestamps in there because I really do like giving you guys the opportunity to fast forward past some things. Don't want to keep you guys waiting if you're not interested in the weigh-in reaction part of things. Some decent bets overall. I like the cross parlays. That's kind of what I'm feeling the most is doing like that lock play. Like, as I said, the lock play between all the organizations for me seems like a money move. And totally off subject of bets, but Anthony Pettis is now talking that he wants to get into boxing. How interesting is that? Now Showtime Pettis is trying to get into a boxing match. He's got to win against Raush Manfio tomorrow. And I don't know if he will. I'm predicting him by a decision, but Anthony Showtime Pettis has not looked great as of recent by any means. So that's something nervous. But guys, smash that like button. It's this week's best MMA bets. I'm excited for the possibility to cash. I'm not going to go insane with props. I'll play a couple of the ones I have listed, like the real valuable ones. I'm definitely going to try to do that long shot parlay of all the locks of the night and see if we can come through with that. The dog play would be insane. Can you imagine getting plus 30,000 just with $10 down? You're making $3,000. $1 down, you're making like 300. So, I mean, there's value any which way you spin things. Lots of opportunities to make some money with the bets this week. We went deep with it fast. I mean, at the end of the day, we talked about so many of them earlier. I just wanted to get out some extra things that I needed to add to it. Also, some boxing on. Vasily Lomachenko is fighting. Didn't do a prediction for that. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow. Realistically, it's all going to be time dependent because I know I am going to be live streaming for a while tomorrow. We got Bellator and PFL on. I will be doing Bellator play-by-play with PFL live updates. You guys make sure to tune into that. If you're new to the channel, subscribe here. Let me know what you guys think of this week's best MMA bets. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a series that I do on occasion. I'd like to make it, at least every week that there's multiple leagues on. I'd like to make it a consistent thing. Just for whatever reason, it hadn't happened recently. But we had a good time here talking about it. Some good plays. If I had to say the true lock of everything, all cards, the one lock, if I really had to pick one, if you said, no, just give me one person I want to bet on first thing, that'd be scary though, because I'm just giving you one, but I have to just give you one. I do think there is one that should land, and I have it written down right here. And I will say the one that I'm truly thinking is Rakhmonov. I think he is the true lock of the week across all MMA leagues. He should not lose to Michael Prajeres. I think at minus 290, obviously value-wise, not a great bet, but some serious opportunities. If you guys are interested, you can play those lock plays because I think they're pretty interesting and definitely maybe hits. As far as just doing straight UFC parlays, there's a couple we went through. I'm doing the UFC weigh-in recap tomorrow in the betting breakdown, so we'll make sure we talk about that there. Overall, exciting action. I am super pumped for this week in MMA. Tomorrow, check out the Bellator play-by-play with the PFL live updates. Saturday, we're live for the entire UFC card. Early in the day card, too. It starts at 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. So I'll be up, ready to rock. Make sure you guys tune into that. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Not a super long video, but I think it gave you the information you truly needed. Smash that like button. We need 70 likes on this video. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Let me know in the comments, do you like this week's best MMA bets? It's a series you want me to keep around. Do you prefer me just individually breaking them down? But I really do think there's value with this week's best MMA bets. Rakhmonov is coming at a very sizable physical advantage, a 10-inch reach advantage and a 6-inch height advantage. It's a serious advantage, and it's an advantage he's coming through on, and that's why he is Shavkat Rakhmonov, this week's lock of the week. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in. Smash the like button. We need 70 likes. Let me know what you think of this week's best MMA bets. And I will see you all tomorrow for the Bellator play-by-play fight companion. Have a great night, everybody.